And welcome to Soups and Sabers. I'm Chris. With me today is Ron. We are going to be talking about the glorious glory that is Superman. I'm sorry we're gushing out. I'm just letting you know that right now. How you doing today, Ron?
I'm doing tremendous, man. I was almost at a bit of a loss for words walking out of the theater today. I didn't really know what I was expecting uh, from Superman. Obviously, that's what we're talking about here today. We're talking about Superman. Me and Chris giving our out of theater reactions here as we always do. And this one is it's weird. I don't even think I feel jazzed up per se. I just feel like good. I feel whole inside. I feel happy. Um, it's a much different feeling than I had from, say, like Deadpool and Wolverine last year, right? That one was one that had a lot of more personal ties to me. I think it was um, a lot more sort of MCU style compared to this one. It was just like such a different feeling coming out of the theater for this one. I think we may have a new template for how we can create comic book movies going forward. It was a very weird thing, and I know I'm just kind of rambling, Chris, and I'll throw back to you in a second here. But the main thing that sticks in my head coming out of this movie is that it feels like there's like a new way to do this now. Whereas in this movie, there was, of course, a central plot with Lex and Superman, and Lex, his whole grand plan the whole time, right? To what is it? Jamapur is the country that he's basically doing all this shady stuff to try to take half the country and make it his own, so he can turn it into this like technological utopia. But despite that, it felt so episodic. It almost felt like a series broken up into parts, but then put back together for a movie. Like there's the episode where he's fighting the kaiju and the Justice Gang shows up. There's the episode where he's with Metamorpho in the pocket dimension. It's like we saw like four different stories in one movie, dude. It
Mm-hmm.
was and it was fast paced, but it didn't feel as rushed as it should have for as fast as it felt. It did feel a little rushed at certain
Yep.
points, but considering how much we got in this movie, I don't know how they did it, dude. I just sit here kind of again in awe, just like, man, this one felt good, you know?
Yeah. It it's a feeling that I haven't had from a superhero movie ever. And I don't know how to explain that because there's been what 30 something MCU films. We had the DCEU, we have the old Batman movies from '89 on. We have
We've been doing this
Superman
for 30
'78.
years. We've been doing
Yeah,
this for 30
and
years.
I've never felt anything like this. First off, this movie doesn't slow down at all. It never slows down. It doesn't take a breath. I've seen some reviews that are driving me crazy because they're saying, "Oh well, there's all the emotional moments were undercut by action or laughter." I was like, they hit me, man.
Yeah.
They hit me. We kept going, but they hit me. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? I think you don't need a sad, somber moment in some of these movies because, especially when your main protagonist gets the living daylights beat out of him, like on a repetitive basis. I have never seen a Superman movie where Superman gets beat up like crazy. This was this solved the problem of Superman being overpowered and unrelatable. And I think and he wasn't a Jesus like figure in this. He was a person. I loved it. This is what this is what makes you fall in love with Superman and Lois. This is why Superman has worked so well on TV this whole time. Because you have these episodic moments, like you're saying. You have these moments and you have these stories and they're real and you have time to really just enjoy that part of the movie. And everybody has something to do in here. I don't think anyone was underserved. I've seen some people say, "Oh, well, if Perry White was underserved, he did just the right amount." I don't think there was a thing there. You can nitpick here or there, but if you told me, now I know our boy Jordan was jacked up about Metamorpho and so excited about Metamorpho, and if you would have told me he was so cool in this movie to this extent, I wouldn't have believed it. I know
Yeah.
I was excited about Metamorpho, but this was something, man. I'm telling you, this movie was fun from the get go. I loved the difference between the Justice Gang and Superman in terms of their ethics, in terms of how they do things. The kaiju is like, well, maybe we could
Hawk
get it
Girl
somewhere
kills
and
a
study it.
guy. Hawk
Yeah,
Girl just drops a guy from the
yeah.
leader of Barovia, and fucking kills him.
It was basically like that scene in fucking Titans where Robin's got the Robin batarang is like, fuck Batman. Like it was like Hawk Girl was like, I'm not Superman, and he just drops the guy. It
Only,
was
yeah,
like
way cooler. Way cooler.
way cooler, but yeah. Um,
Shout out, by the way, Hawk Girl, probably my favorite ancillary character of the movie. I thought she
I,
was awesome.
I,
The screech every time she would fly in, dude.
mm-hmm,
So cool.
mm-hmm.
Isabella Merced is a fucking force, man.
Uh,
She is awesome.
well, I thought she was awesome, but to me, that has to go to Mr. Terrific because
Yeah.
he was Mr. Goddamn Terrific.
I don't need your help. I'm Mr.
Look,
Goddamn Terrific.
dude, dude. First off, that ending scene, my favorite moment of the entire film is when Crypto just lets loose on Lex Luthor. Um,
Yes.
that my entire theater both times is just erupted in laughter and cheers. Like I don't think every dog has his day, and when Lex Luthor has his day in this film, it's delicious.
It
He's
is.
the pettiest little piece of shit you've ever seen. He's such a petty piece of crap. There's no way to say it other than that. He drops the mug and then he keeps dropping stuff and says, pick it up, pick it up. He's like, I've never seen, dude, the fact that they thought of, let's make Lex Luthor ridiculously petty on top of everything. Just unbelievable. The pocket dimension. This is the most comic book movie of all time.
It really is. It really is. And folks, if you have a little bit of whiplash right now, get used to it because that's basically what we're going to sit here and do for the next 25 minutes.
And I don't care.
We have our full review with Jordan coming this weekend where we'll really dive into the nitty-gritty and, talk about implications and the specifics that happen in this movie, but this night is for us, the fans, and we're going to nerd out and fan.
Well, this is a celebration for you guys because here's the deal. When we leave the theater and we feel like this, screw it. Just screw it. I mean, have a couple drinks, feel good about yourself. You just got a W.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a win.
Time for the analytics later. Yeah.
Look, I walked out of Batman versus Superman and said to myself, I genuinely don't know how I feel about this film. And I have convinced myself to like it. I have done that with a lot of DC films where I said, okay, I will come to appreciation of it in second or third viewings. I don't have to do that, and it's fun. It's light. It's loose. It makes me feel like I can fly. I am so excited, guys. Look, here's the thing. If you would have told me that crypto was going to be this freaking awesome, I knew I was going to like crypto.
Yep.
Crypto is a crypto. Crypto when Lois is in the T sphere and crypto just sits in her lap and like gets in the way, and she's just like, oh, okay, I guess I'm just gonna have to deal with you. That was like, that's my dog. That's Goose. Crypto and Goose, same dog without the powers.
Or like at the end during the fight with Ultraman when he goes and he takes out all Alexa's cameras, get the toy. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
It was great.
And when Lex is freaking out that dude, I absolutely loved. I think the thing I like about this Clark the most is he's so action oriented. He's getting his butt kicked. He's getting his lungs filled with nanites, and he flies up, and they're like, "What the hell is he doing?" And they don't even have time to respond to him or come up with some plan. They just chase him up in the sky, and he sends them back down like a hammer.
What goes up must come down. Yeah.
It was dude. That is my top Superman moment on film. I'm sorry, it's my top Superman moment on film.
Awesome.
You can put it up with Brandon Routh with the plane. You can put it up with him saving Lois Lane, Margot Kidder in '78. I've got you. You've got me. Who's got you? You can put it up with anything Superman has done on film. Um, there's a few Superman and Lois moments. There's a few Smallville moments. That is the one. That is the we. We got me and Jordan were talking about how we wanted definitives. We got the definitive Superman
Yeah.
moments we were looking
Oh
for in this film. I mean, this is a love letter to Superman. This wasn't a love letter to Superman. Scott says this is a love letter to DC. A
yeah.
love
To
letter to
comic
DC.
fans. Yeah.
And the fact that they played Guy as such a jerk, but it works so well. Uh,
He was a jerk, but he wasn't like a jerk that just wasn't redeemable. Like he was kind of like
yeah,
a bit of a goofy jerk. You know what I mean? Like the end, this thing with Metamorpho when he's like Justice Gang. That's like the coolest name ever. And he's just like you're
you're
in.
in.
Like
uh,
I think he's
yeah.
boisterous and overconfident to a fault,
Mm-hmm,
but he's great. Yeah, all three of those side castings
mm-hmm.
they nailed, dude.
Uh,
One thing I do want to kind of ask you about that I'm
mm-hmm.
not I'm not super well versed in the Superman lore, as anybody who listens to this show knows. What did you think of the casting that we got for Jor El and his mother, but also that whole thing about like he was actually sent to Earth to kill everybody, and like they didn't really wrap that up in
Yeah.
any neat way. Like that's
All
still
right.
like thing, you know?
Well, look, as a Smallville fan, I'm used to this twist.
Okay,
I'm used to this twist of him, discovering the message of the pod and Jarrell not always being super awesome. Um, I I think I think I like it because if you're not going to have the origin and you're not going to start off with a lot of Krypton, I don't need there to be a lot of Krypton in there. And I think Bradley Cooper was a waste of money for the film.
mm.
You could have put absolutely anybody in there, and it would have worked.
And
Um,
Bradley Cooper's great and all, but he's not getting you going in 2025. You know what I mean? It's not like oh fuck, it's Bradley Cooper. You know, it's like okay,
okay, so um, look, I didn't have a problem with it. There's one of two ways you can make it. I think the best line of the film was Pa Kent saying the fact that you imagined the end of that list, the end of that message the way you did, and what you wanted the message to say. There's more about you than anything anybody could have said for you, or something along that lines. Like it was just really powerful. Like it hit me like a freaking hammer. I think
that whole
Pocket.
that whole speech with Pa
Mm-hmm,
Kent at the end, and we didn't get a lot of them in this movie. They were
mm-hmm,
probably one of the aspects that I think maybe could have got a little more time. But what we
mm-hmm.
got with them was great. That last little moment of him and Clark on the porch, dude, like with the
Yeah.
John Williams score on the piano playing behind it, like
They,
talking about how proud he is of him and stuff. It's like
uh,
they maximized every second that they had between him and Clark on screen for sure.
the only thing I would like if there was a scene I would cut, it would have been the speakerphone Ma Kent screaming
Yes.
from like 30 feet away from the
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
Um, because I've always had a problem with the Kents being that old. Like I
Yeah.
like the Kents being the more of the Smallville. They're the parent age, not the grandparent age.
Yeah.
I I've always appreciated that more. But what I will say is they were great, and I love when Martha's like, when it comes to Clark, he's nothing but mush,
Yeah.
and it's like oh mush, and it was really sweet, and I think the way that they ended the movie with the would you like to see the message from your parents? He finds it soothing, and then it's the Kents at
Yeah.
the end with
Yep.
the perfect James Gunn song drop, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Um, and it's just like, God, he's good at this. He's just so damn good at this. Um, uh,
At,
you know,
at least until he's interrupted by somebody, but we'll get there in a second.
well, first off, this is one of the top things I wanted to talk to you about because Millie Alcock is your girl. Um, uh, House of the Dragon representation.
Hell yeah.
Um, I, I, I'm already all for it. 100% every way, which way, and listen. just the floor is yours, Billy Alcock. Go.
So obviously, we've known for a while that she was going to be in the role, and it was not really a great kept secret that she was going to make an appearance in some form or fashion in this movie. But it was still so cool to see, incoming right when the four, I think it was the robot. This is like incoming, I forget
It's
what he said
scary
exactly.
now.
Yes, but right when she pops in there, you knew it was going to be her, and it was just like she comes in there without a care in the world. Just hey, what's up? Thanks for watching him, bitch. Like just oh my god, they're talking about partying in space. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said to you and Jordan privately that Supergirl was almost assuredly going to be like the linchpin to my fandom in the
Mm-hmm.
DCU, and that is like the 2 minutes we got of her on screen all but confirmed that this is going to be
Yeah.
like a party movie in space with badass alien shit. It is going to be Millie Alcock's Guardians of the Galaxy movie, except she's
It,
Supergirl. Like,
it's literally it's yeah. It's literally one of the things that I wish James Gunn was directing because it's
yeah,
perfect for him. I know Craig Gillespie will do a great job. I have no problem with Craig Gillespie. Um, but if there was like a movie that was designed for him, that's a space odyssey by nature. If they're
yeah,
adapting Woman of Tomorrow, and I still think one of my favorite moments in comics is of Tomorrow. They're on this planet that is designed to be a trap for Clark, for Superman. And uh uh Kara goes, God damn, they hate my cousin. And it's still one of my favorite moments of comics. But it's just like a funny line. It's like, yeah, they really don't know what to do with Superman. But
Dude, the funniest thing about it is like how many times could Clark have used her help in this movie? And it's just
I
like,
know, right?
she's just off getting drunk and partying and having fun in space. And it's like he
Well,
doesn't even like chastise her for it at the end. He's like, yeah, that's just Kara, you know?
you know what's cool is I know they're cousins, but he's kind of got like that cool older brother vibes where
Oh yeah,
he's like, look, I'm not going to try to make her be anything but what she is, and she'll grow up eventually. But he's like, God damn it, I really don't like partying and stuff, and you know, I think what's cool about this Clark and Kara is I feel like Kara can use a little bit of Clark in her, and I feel like uh, Clark could use a touch of the Kara personality. A bit of the let loose bit. Um, I I think we've shortchanged something here. We got to talk about Lois a little bit. She was
yeah.
awesome in this movie. Um, I thought the funniest line in the whole film to me is you have a flying saucer and you could have a faster garage door.
Yeah, yeah. That 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 haircut should be against your code. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that one kind of got ruined for me by a sneak peek, but I think it would have had more zip if it was never revealed. But that was fantastic, and I love this. I love the like little banter between her and Clark with like, "Hey, I'm making breakfast for dinner. That's your favorite." She goes, "No, I like breakfast for breakfast. You like breakfast for dinner."
What does Pa Ken say? He's like, that Louise is great. She's a great girl. You got there.
Yeah, he
No,
called her Luann.
Luann,
I
Luann.
think, yeah, yeah. Oh, and
But no,
I
yeah,
love how,
Brosnahan killed
yeah.
it. Like,
Hmm.
if you had told me before we had seen anything about this movie that there would be a scene of Lois flying a hovercraft with Jimmy and Wendell
Perry
Pierce,
White
Perry White, and all of these people, like I would have been
hmm
like, dude, what is this movie? But
with
it just
Steve
worked.
Lombard whining that he doesn't have a chair.
Oh, so what? Yeah.
Dude, look, you would have rolled your eyes and said it was stupid. Yeah, it was perfect. I loved every little moment of this film. There's not one thing I, I, I'm not trying to be a shill here. There's no complaints. I think the story wraps up cleaner than it has a right to. I think the story is secondary to the moments and the characters, but the action is insane. I love the I. The biggest complaint that I would have is that the Hammer of Arabia takes off the Hammer of Arabia outfit, and he's in the Ultraman outfit just
Yeah,
to avoid the reveal.
yeah,
It's like, why is he wearing? The only justification I've come up with in my head is that Lex Luthor hates looking at the face so much that he's always got to be in a mask. That's the
yeah.
only thing I could think of. But I it that
Like,
was kind of stupid.
wouldn't you think that it would be more impactful if the Hammer had taken that thing, like for what Lex was trying to do, right? Paint Superman as the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
You would think he would want people to know that it was somebody who looked like Clark underneath that thing. You know what I mean? I mean, it's tough
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, then Clark could just be like, "No, guys, actually, I'm here. That's a clone of me."
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, Lex
I
says it himself. He talks about his hubris and his envy and how he's fully aware that he has it. You know, when they mention his name among the
yeah.
greatest minds in history, like I like that they really leaned into the fact of like nobody's perfect in this movie. Even the villains
Mm-hmm.
admit that they are human. Like
Yeah.
that's powerful.
I think I would have rather it just been Ultraman or Hammer of Arabia. Pick one, don't do both. That I But it's such a small nitpick. It doesn't ruin the movie at
Yeah,
all. So,
yeah,
like when I tell you this is a 10 out of 10, I'm not telling you it's a perfect film. I'm telling you that it works. And
yeah.
that's the thing is there's nothing in this film that doesn't work for me. And the pocket dimension and the um Lex just putting like a bunch of ex-girlfriends down there.
Yeah.
Um I was like I was like,
Dude,
who could this
there was so
I was
much
like,
silly shit in this movie that
I
on
know.
paper it sounds so stupid, but it worked. Super shits, all the monkeys doing the
Uh-huh.
fucking social media posts, dude. Like,
Yeah.
but it worked. It
Well,
worked.
well, the funny thing about it was Lex Luthor was so obviously written in this time of day. It was like he could not be more of a parallel to Elon Musk if he tried. Um,
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
was just
yeah,
like I was just like, yeah, if there were pocket dimensions in real life, Elon Musk would have like 10 girlfriends down there.
yeah.
He'd have 10 girlfriends and Stephen Miller's wife down there in the pocket dimension. But the monkeys and the super shit. I love how they're doing the interview. And he goes, you know, that one specifically annoys me.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I love that one. I thought that was so hilarious because,
There,
yeah, I think the MVP of this film is Superman. And it's such a refreshing thing considering the fact that everyone was worried how bloated this movie would be. Um, Superman is the MVP. He was fantastic. Clark and Superman are very blended, but it works so well.
yep. I think honestly, like I understand where people are coming from a little bit in terms of the maybe not every character getting, just due. But at the end of the day, for example, again, no disrespect to the GOAT Wendell Pierce. Is your enjoyment of a Superman movie hinging on how much Perry White is in the movie? Like sometimes it's okay to
Mm-hmm.
have named characters who you may know from comics or other source material that are in it for a scene or two. It helps the world feel bigger, more built out with characters
Mm-hmm.
that you know and can identify. Every character doesn't need an arc. Some
Look,
characters are there to be part of the
yeah.
world and provide something in their own little way, whether it's, the little comedic stuff we got from Jimmy, whether
Oh,
it's,
Jimmy was awesome.
yeah, like Wendell being the one to pull the trigger. Perry, excuse me, Wendell Perry
Mm-hmm.
being the one to pull the trigger on the Lex story at the end.
Mm-hmm.
They serve their purpose, but it doesn't have to be a quarter of the movie in the process. You know what I mean?
Well, look, you can't complain about Perry White because he told Jimmy to call him Perry or not to call him Chief 4 or 5 times in the film. So you can't say he didn't get enough Perry. That was the appropriate amount. And here's the thing, though, like the Jimmy, and then it's like Eve, like setting all that stuff in the background. Like that was kind of like a idiot doing a genius thing, and like, but my favorite moment for Jimmy was all weekends.
Yeah, yeah.
And
By
he
the way,
like
Jimmy, what are you doing? You've got like Eve is.
I
pretty good.
look,
Like, I don't know what you're doing there,
look.
ladies,
I
man.
I I respected it so much because to me that was Jimmy saying, "I care about the person and the personality," and like that was because I got to be honest with you, I don't have enough self respect to say no to that. Um, so I respect the player that is Jimmy. For that.
All right,
He
the
knows
drinks
he
are
knows
starting to hit, so we will wrap up.
no, no, it's not. It's not. I'm not taking it to an inappropriate level at all. I'm just
I'm
saying,
fucking. I'm messing with you, man. I'm messing
yeah,
with
no, I know, but like I'm saying, the fact that Jimmy's so sure of himself that he can turn that down, that's cool. I like Jimmy Olsen. I'm used to Jimmy Olsen being a nerd. He's still a nerd, and yet somehow he's cool. This is like the fucking nerd of 2025. It's perfect. I think it's awesome. Um, I love how the girls in the Daily Planet are like fawning over him, and they're like, "How do you do this? Like, what is this?" Everyone in his midst is just like, "What is going on?"
you.
But we're at 27 minutes here, so what's your biggest takeaway from this film?
My biggest takeaway. Maybe we can each give our favorite scene too. We don't
Yeah,
have to go.
yeah, yeah,
But I would say, just off the rip, my favorite scene was definitely the pocket dimension scene with Metamorpho and Joey. That was so in crypto. Like, man, what a visual spectacle that scene was, and it looked great. The CGI looked great. There was maybe some points in the movie where the CGI was a bit emphasis on bit rough, but not in this scene. I thought it was
yeah.
just amazing. I loved it.
I didn't think it was Flash or Brave New World problematic, so I let it go. There were
Yeah,
a couple scenes where it's like, I could have looked better. Um, but again, the movie moves too fast for the average person to really notice, unless you're being a dick going, look at that,
yeah,
pausing it, going, you're kidding me. This is professional level. Oh,
yeah.
Zack Snyder did it better.
All right.
Um,
Fuck it. We don't need to go. Fuck them. This isn't their
uh,
day. Their day is
yeah.
gone.
Hey,
Uh,
look, I'm a petty little asshole. I'm being a little Lex Luthor here. But look, my favorite scene was the baseball fight scene, and I, the engineer was like surprisingly one of the coolest.
dude,
Like
yeah.
she was awesome in this film, and like I felt so sorry for her, and yet I don't know if I was supposed to, and and then I was like, do I just feel sorry for her because she's really freaking hot, or do I like I or is she just like was there a sympathetic layer there or because she was kind of cutthroat and I don't think I was supposed to feel the sympathy, but it was like she said that scene where she's like, I sacrificed some of my humanity to get this done, and it was like I think there's something more there, but she was awesome. The just the little throwing the blades and the little nano snakes in the ground, dude, that was so cool, so powerful. I
Yeah.
would rather fight Ultraman than that than her. So
Yeah. No, she was
that
great.
was my favorite scene because I thought that was again the top moment in action for Superman on film.
Mhm.
Period. Um I think my biggest takeaway from this film is that you can be as comic booky as you want to be. You can. I don't think you need to shy away from it, and I think a lot of the MCU films we've had, if they would have just leaned into that comic bookiness the way that this did, maybe comic book fatigue would have never happened.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a shot in the arm to the comic book genre. And I feel like just fully going for it um, really works. It really works. And also have directors just do their thing. James Gunn did his thing in this film. It
Yeah.
worked. If you would, people were like, "Oh, I'm so worried he's going to make it a James Gunn film."
Well, he
When has
kind of
that been a
did.
bad thing?
I was gonna
But what?
say it was this weird thing where I didn't know what to expect from this movie,
Mhm.
and we got exactly what we should have expected. It was a James Gunn Superman movie through and through, but it's still like maybe because it was such an odd foreign concept that I still wasn't able to wrap my brain around it until I actually saw it. but it's like, yeah, that was a James Gunn Superman film, and it fucking rocked. So
The punk rock Superman idea, the arguing over what's punk rock with Lois and Superman, and and Superman just thinking, hey, maybe just being good, just like being radically good, is just like punk rock. That was such a genius story like thing, and I got to be honest with you, that moment when Lois said, "I love you too," and they're flying, kissing, like hovering, it's so peak Superman and Lois. It's just so peak Clark Kent, Lois. It's perfect. It's
it
just perfect. And then
it
you
brought a
got
tear to
Perry
my eye,
going,
man. I'm not gonna lie to you. It brought a
yeah,
tear to my
and
eye at that moment.
yeah. You got Perry going. You got Perry going. How long has this been going on? And Jimmy's like 3 months, I think.
3 months, I think. Yeah, my audience
I,
got a kick out of that one. Yeah,
yeah. It was, but it was just. I love the Lois and I loved the Clark, and I think that this could like if you make Lois a consistent element, and she showed you could do that. If you make Lois a consistent element, you get to a world's finest. Where like I keep just playing the scene in my head where Batman is annoying the crap out of Clark, and Clark is annoying the crap out of Batman, and Lois is just like Bruce is right,
yeah,
and I could just see the look on. I could just hear David Corn say, "Why are you being this way?" But like I the whole world made sense to me is what I'm saying.
yeah,
I saw Mr. Terrific and I said that's the way you have to do Batman in this universe. Serious but badass but personality.
yeah. With a little bit of cheese there, just
Just a touch.
tiny bit. A little
If you go
sprinkle of
to
Parmesan on top. A little. That's it.
yeah,
That's it.
you don't want to go George Clooney, you don't want to go Adam West, but I don't think you want to go Robert Pattinson. So anyone who's saying, "Oh, we got to get Robert Pattinson and David Cornswet together," if you've watched this, Robert Pattinson would be like, "All right, where's the kryptonite? I can't
Oil and
stand this
water,
fuck."
bro. Yeah, oil and
Yeah,
water. It would
it
not
would just
work.
want to work. It wouldn't work at all.
No.
And before this movie, I would have said I think it would work. I see this movie in the whole DC universe, the whole image. It just makes sense to me what they're doing and what they're going for. And if you do every movie like this, where you skip the origin stories for the main characters and you just drop us into the action, and it never slows down, uh, sign me up. Take my money. You know how much
Yeah.
money this movie has gotten from me? It's pathetic. Um,
Yeah.
By the way, the Metropolis popcorn bucket, the Daily Planet. Dude, look at this freaking thing. Look at
Yeah.
this freaking
Show it to
thing.
the people. Show it to the
Look at
people.
this. You know what? It's funny because you can flip the thing that's showing to the crypto side. Oops.
Hey,
So it comes out so you can flip it so crypto's in front. And just for Ron, I was thinking about putting crypto in front. Um, but I was nice.
I don't even know if we've made that joke on the show or if that's just a personal thing between us about me hating crypto.
No, it's an inside joke, but that's what makes podcasts great. Inside jokes that the audience is not aware of at all.
Nothing people love more than hearing jokes they don't understand, brother. Let's
I will Burgundy.
all right,
So
take us home
classy.
here. Take us
All
home
right.
here.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed our talk here. Follow us on Soups and Sabers on pretty much every social media. I'm gonna make it simple. But Fantastic Fridays are coming up. As excited as we are for Superman, we have Fantastic Four coming up. There's some cool Fantastic Fridays coming up for you. So please, and we already have some out, so please check that out. Ron, speaking of popcorn buckets, already got the Galactus ahead.
24 inches, baby. Count them.
That's what she said. Um, um, so, um, Galactus is really giving it to you, but
Wrap it
look,
up. You're going to say something we regret.
uh, I say things I regret every day, so it doesn't really matter. It's just a day in the life of Chris Shieldsworth. But follow us on Super Sabers, pay attention to Fantastic Fridays, and keep out for more DCU content.